We're walking the property that we were approved. They accepted our offer, and we bought this piece of property. And Mother's Day 2017, we're checking it out, seeing where we might get a road and maybe home site, stuff like that. There's a little poison oak. You don't mind, right?
I don't like poison oak.
Starting to get easier to walk. There's Grandpa Haneke up there. Huh, Heather? What do you think? Beautiful clearing, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
So this is where you're sitting right up this tree line on your left.
Yeah.
Your dividing line. So we are.
This is Bob.
That's the camera? That's a little tiny thing.
Yeah. Bob has a surveying experience.
Just enough to be dangerous.
Uh-huh.
Your property line is just estimating your overweight.
We're still walking up what I think would be where we put the road in along this edge, along there and down. Trouble is, the reason I got kind of a good deal on this property, even though the location is amazing, is there's a wet area down at the bottom, a wetland type of thing, which looks like one of the only ways in. So to cut a road through that is some kind of challenge that kept the property prices down a bit. And me being adventurous and loving the property, I thought it was meant for us, and that we should get this here property and sort of enjoy the process of finding out how to solve the puzzle of getting up into it, right? First things first, get the property, because it's a hot market. Somebody else will do it if you don't. And then worry about the details, see? My personality type. First things first. A little bit adventurous though. But look at this view. I mean, look at that. We're not even halfway up through the property. It's quiet up here, and yet close to town. So gorgeous. Yeah, we'll walk. We found this old road. Check out this old road, old gate. Long since forgotten. But hey, maybe we do have a road. Huh?
This is pretty nice, actually. Access up in here.
Yeah, and it's well inside our property.
Stands, some 3D targets down through here. And back over the other way where the home site is.
Gorgeous.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I'll put you over here, Billy Ray. I got some multitasking. My filter's gone again. I'm sure you'll get that tree where you want it. I don't have to make sure it goes there myself. Seeing how you're all the way in Canada, I don't think it's gonna hit me. Try and get that thing to run right or something. Don't those old Macs kind of vibrate you? There she goes. Hollow. Check back in with you later, Buckin. Okay, YouTube. I gotta go pick up some wood from that oak tree. I've been giving it to my pastor. So I'll go and pick it up and put it in the trailer and drive and deliver it later. We had fun looking at the property today, and I want to talk a little bit about Mother's Day. My mom's getting up there in age. I'm gonna have to collect my thoughts a little and in order to be fair to this this vlog. At the park here now to pick up this wood. There's powwow every Mother's Day in Grants Pass. Powwow. I'll show you a little bit of it.
$4,000 in a truck.
Every year, same thing. Here I am, little pivot point, putting together this Mother's Day video, and I also got a busy week. We're buying property, we got all these things to do, and I needed to move this wood, so that it's gonna take some serious time though. Move all this wood, load it up, go park the machine, drive it way out to dump it, then come back. Gonna shoot the whole day, come home late at night, and I'm thinking I'm doing this whole talking about Mother's Day, and I'm gonna spend the whole day working again. What you are witnessing is me stopping what I'm doing and saving this work for later. An organic moment of pivot point change direction. I really need to, you know. The truth is, the entire day is gonna get swallowed up by this, what feels really important. And Mama Octopus back there is going to do another day of dedication, sacrifice for the kids. So I think I need to go and put some time in over there somehow. But hey, on the bright side of accomplishing things for the steady grind, I did get a new fuel filter on my truck. And you know, it had pretty much run out of gas right there too, so I got those giant gas tanks are full, spare tanks are full, and I got the filter on, and so my truck will be ready to go. So tomorrow can be sufficient for its troubles, and today can be not about tree work. I actually kind of like the sound of that. Wish I could stick around, get some soundtrack, get some video soundtrack. Looks like a tree man's been here. Oh, wow. The tree man. Somebody asked me on YouTube, was it Chuckles? Asked me why we were cutting the tree down. The roots are rotten. Anytime these oaks get watered enough to keep grass green for years and years and years, they rot, the roots. I'll show you the base of the tree. Right in here, see? See, right in here is where there was some real visible rot. Maybe I can find the log. Yeah, here's the stump cut. Oh yeah, see? Right in the base. See all of this? Indication that the foundation is weak. then we have the advantage of year after year after year picking these things up after they fall in the park. Every year, every time the roots are rotted off. Oh, I got some pigeons. Really wanted to take a few minutes and talk about Mother's Day, and if I talk too long, then I will be all talk and no action and not there for my wife on Mother's Day, who is the mother of my children. And you know, I used to say Mother's Day is about my mom, but well, not so much only about your mom when your wife is doing that all over again. Whatever your mom did for you, for your own children. So I saw this. I was watching Buck and Billy Ray the other day, and he was doing a vlog, and I can't remember which one it is. I'll just show a clip of it. But he talks about his mom, and it really reached me the way you could just he's alive. He's got a sincere appreciation for life and people, and he loves his mom. And listen to Billy Ray talk about his mom for a minute.
We grew up out in Yellow Point here, out about 6, 7, 8 miles out in the bush here, in a shack built around a wood stove, and she raised me and my brother, and she hitchhiked to freaking work, and scrubbed toilets and cleaned houses, and we worked with her, and it was I'm not kidding you. That woman has got pride, and she is a special individual, my mom. And I'm not kidding you. She for her music to sell, friends, it almost, you know. Thank you so much, friends. My mom is she's special, and she never asked for nothing. She raised me and my brother out in the sticks, and we were like, Mom, you know, we need some soccer boots, Mom. Me and Andy, we need some. Can you get us some soccer boots? You know.
That inspired me. I thought, man, I got to talk about my mom for Mother's Day. And similar to Billy Ray, you know, Billy Ray, I think I heard him say that they were poor. I used to think of it that way. We grew up in the sticks, up in the bush, up in Alaska. I was born out there. My brothers and sisters were born out there. My dad was delivering the babies. And we were off-grid. Till the day I left home when I was 18, we never had power or running water. And we lived out there when there was a power outage. We never knew. We were the last to know. It didn't affect us. There were benefits to being off-grid. One of the ways I looked at it, though, when I was a kid is I thought we were poor. And it wasn't until I grew up and got into the workforce that I realized that I had been given a great advantage, great riches, in that I knew how to work. What seemed like no big deal to me was very hard for a lot of other people. So I got a jump start on life. I entered the workforce, and I was a monster. I stood out, you know, because we did our own wood cutting, and we did our own wood cutting with hand tools. We used not chainsaws. We used bow saws and splitting mauls and axes. And I'm getting sidetracked. How does that have anything to do with my mom? Well, my dad was a Vietnam vet, and he got out of Vietnam, and he was there in 65 and 66. And when he got out of there, he met this lady, and she was the type of lady who would follow this adventurous man from California way up into the boondocks, and he built the cabin. And he built the cabin I was born in, and my brothers and sisters. And she followed him, and she stuck with him, and he was a good man, and he's worthy of being followed. But it was hard, and they had 7 kids. And to do that without power, running water, and all those amenities that people take for granted now, I find incredible. We lived off the land for the most part. We lived off a red salmon run that went past our house, and we lived off a, these guys want to talk, we lived off the moose. We shot moose and we ate them, and a lot of our food come in 100-pound sacks. My mom baked 4 loaves of bread every day, and she didn't need to read the recipe after a while. And we, Haneke, there were 4 boys and 3 girls. We ate up that bread. It was ridiculous. You know, to this day, fresh baked bread. Oh man, there's nothing like that. She cranked it out. She would complain often that she didn't have energy, and we always thought, well, of course you don't have energy. You're working hard. And we were insensitive. We were boys. We were kids. And we didn't always respect her the way I can't take it back. You know, I wasn't a horrible beast or anything. I loved my parents. But looking back, I didn't realize how awesome she was. I remember my dad, he was a trucker and he was a diesel mechanic, and he was home at night, but he was gone a lot during the day, and there were times where he was gone for days in a row. And I remember my mom building the outhouse. The outhouse was, you know, that was a fact of life. You just move it now and then. But I remember my mom just being a little kid and looking up at my mom up on the roof of this little building, building the outhouse. One of my childhood memories of my mom. But anyway, amazing lady. Taught me a lot about morality. And between the two of them, I think they taught me a lot about, well, they always told me I was a good boy. They didn't have any certain career path they wanted for me or anything. They just encouraged me in whatever I wanted to do. And my mom was, I'm a lot like her. We have the same kind of dry sense of humor, and I owe so much. So yeah, years and years go by. I'm grown and gone. The kids are all grown and gone, and Mom finally, you know, she's winding down. She's in her 50s. Why is she winding down? Goes to the doctor, finds out, and I remember her being like this aerobic dancing instructor, and she like did a lot of things. She drank wheat germs. She was always trying to do things to get her energy up, and complaining and working her fingers to the bone. Well, come to find out, after the kids are grown and gone, she goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, you have a birth defect. Your heart has, it's hard to talk about, I guess. Her heart had a hole in it the size of a silver dollar, about this big. And so she did, with every heartbeat, all those things. She did all those things for us, every heartbeat, going forward, her heart going 2 steps forward and 1 step back. was a sacrifice. And yeah, she would say she's tired. Okay. So, recently I'm talking to my wife, who is also very sacrificial. You know, just that sacrificial subject just for a minute. I was thinking about it. People take this picture of Jesus giving himself for the world and whatnot. And I don't want to go all religious on people who don't want to hear it. But just the idea of it, okay? The mother, think about it, her body is broken. What's that? Talks about by his stripes we're healed, by her stripes. Did you know that when the child is in the womb, if the baby isn't getting enough calcium, the calcium will just get taken right out of her bones. And her body is changed, and she's literally poured into the child. And then afterwards, assuming the mom is in her right mind, and that could be intermittent sometimes, but then she continues that sacrifice. So my wife was telling me about this story of the mama octopus. And the mama octopus, she basically needs to like constantly protect the young until they hatch. And by the time they're ready to hatch, she breathes her last breath. She gives everything. And you know, that's why this whole property deal was weighing on me, because I thought, Mom, she made a great investment in me. And here I am, finally in a place where I'm gonna I'm gonna move us all together into this Walton house with the contribution from my parents' property and mine. Sure, it's not like I'm doing it all myself, right? However, I'm gonna carry the burden of paying for and have the lion's share of the burden once we make it happen. The deal falls through, and now we're looking at what are we going to do. It's just not what I wanted for my mom. You know, in her 70s, she had the hard beginning. In 1968, up in Alaska when I was born, and all of those years up until I was 18. And now here we are in the later years, and I was hoping White Knight August Hunneke rides in, "Hey Mom, here, have a palace." Yeah, so it didn't happen. And so we have made an offer on this big, beautiful piece of property. And it's going to take some time to develop, to get the road in and the power and the pad and build the thing. And my mom is, you know, what are we going to do? An RV or something? And so I was talking to her the other day and expressing to her my disappointment at how it was going down. And her thought went immediately to my children and how this was going to be best for them. This is hard to do. That's it. Let's end it. Thanks, Mom. I promise that in the next coming months, I'm gonna try to keep you from camping. I'm gonna try to juggle. I'm gonna try to work hard enough to get this comfort for you without going back to bush life. Although I value it. I can do it. I love it. I can't say my wife would love that. I think my kids would. Anyway, thanks, Mom. Thanks to my wife. Thanks, all you moms. Yeah, sacrifice. Being a mom is about sacrifice.